This government compound is not far from Hua Square. It reportedly houses offices of the Iranian presidency, Iran's National Security Council, and the Supreme Leader.
Why are they all in one box though? That's a horrible idea. Y'all see? They asking to die. One bomb, and all they gotta do is fly over y'all. Just start dropping bombs and you're all dead.
Ali Hosseini Khamenei died in the attack. Also killed Suyid Abdurrahim Mousavi, Chief of Staff of Iran's Armed Forces. Ali Shamkhani, head of the National Defense
Bro, they trying to get a UAV in this bitch.
Council. Muhammad Pakpour, Commander-in-Chief of the IRGC. Aziz Nazerzadeh, Defense Minister.
Out of there.
According to Israeli news, a total of 30 senior Iranian officials were killed in just half a minute in the opening strike.
Half a minute? So they dead. How Iran's leader was killed.
It's roughly 6 a.m. in Israel.
A
series of fighter jets takes off, armed with long-range, high-precision missiles. According to CIA and Israeli intelligence, a significant portion of Iran's leadership has gathered here, in a compound in Tehran. Among them, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the country's supreme leader. 2 hours and 5 minutes after the jets took off, Israeli missiles strike the compound.
Oh my gosh.
This is how the Israeli and US attacks on Iran unfolded.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. We living in some crazy times. Like, this is all documented, multiple different angles from the civilians because of phones, bro. That's crazy. The big Yahoo had to get him out of there, bro. Holy shit.
This is how the Israeli and US attacks on Iran unfolded. How the country's leader was killed, and what has happened since.
شهد شعیب گوارای شهادت را نوشیدند و به ملکوت اعلی پیوستند.
What the fuck is he talking about?
By the time this video is published, new details might have emerged. The US, Israel, and Iran have a long history of tensions. Until 1979, Iran was an authoritarian monarchy ruled by Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. He was supported by the US. When his regime was overthrown in the Iranian Revolution, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini took control of the country and founded the Islamic Republic. He was determined to transform Iran into a country ruled by Islamic law.
God dang, how old is this guy, bro?
The former Shah's pro-Western stance. The US and its close ally Israel were declared sworn enemies. Especially the opposition of Israel became a strategic and ideological goal. Ruhollah Khomeini died in 1989 and was succeeded by Ali Khamenei, a cleric who quickly rose through the ranks and had become a key figure in the religious leadership of the country. Over time,
so that's
Iran,
not the same
Israel,
guy.
and the US repeatedly engaged in conflicts. Sanctions were imposed onto Iran. Iran became a key financier of anti-Israel.
He has like a 80% disapproval rating, right? Iran-backed militias. Damn, so they got militaries in multiple different countries. Syria, Iraq, and Iran. Oh my God. Iran is massive.
Iran became
and then Israel is right here.
Key financier of anti-Israeli militias in the region. In 2002, it was uncovered that Iran was enriching uranium at 2 secret locations. The enriched uranium could be used for nuclear reactors or nuclear weapons, a fear the US and its allies had had for a while already. Iran has repeatedly denied its alleged pursuit of nukes. The US and Israel ran many attempts to stop the nuclear program. Through cyber attacks, the assassination of key scientists, and especially in the US's case through diplomacy. In 2015, the Obama administration and the Iranian
They're getting the scientists up out of there too? Dude, it's crazy how the world works. It's literally like America got a vice grip on everything.
Regime agreed to a nuclear deal.
This is a good day.
Crazy.
Because once again, we're seeing what's possible with strong American diplomacy. Under the nuclear deal that we, our allies and partners, reached with Iran last year, Iran will not get its hands on a nuclear bomb.
So they went back on that agreement? Is that what happened?
However, in 2018, President Trump pulled out of the deal.
The fact is,
of course he did, bro. Of course he fucking did. What? What do you mean? They don't have nukes, right? Isn't that the point? How is that a horrible deal? It says Trump withdraws U.S. from horrible one-sided Iran nuclear deal. What is his thought process? There's no Trump hotel in Iran.
Horrible one-sided.
They're very good people. Iran, they're a very good people. I talked to the leader. That deal was horrible.
A deal that should have never, ever been made.
Ever
What?
since, relations have tensed up.
Why? So now they're like, okay, if you cancel the deal, that basically means they have the green light to make nukes. So it's like, we're kind of, if you think about it, that's kind of putting them in a situation where we're kind of being pushed into more tension because of that. The deal was made so that, obviously deals don't really mean shit. People go back on them all the time, but isn't that an act of good faith?
2025, in the midst of new negotiations, Israel and the US launched a series of airstrikes on Iran using bunker buster bombs. 3 Iranian nuclear sites were heavily damaged. In the same year, Iran plummeted further into an economic crisis. The currency crashed.
Wait, so they just dropping bombs on them and they just gotta sit there and take it. Wow.
Food prices soared. People grew frustrated. By the end of 2025, mass demonstrations erupted across the country. Peaceful protesters and rioters called for the end of the Islamic Republic. Trump called for an uprising of the Iranian people against their government, saying help is on its way. But the regime brutally cracked down on the protests. It shut down the internet across the country. For days, little to no news made it out. In the end, thousands of people were killed. 50,000 reportedly got arrested. The US began
50,000 arrests for people expressing their right to protest because of the shitty conditions that they're living in. Oh my God. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Trump really gives a fuck about the Iranian people. I don't think he gives a fuck. I think he cares that they're revolting because it gets to destabilize the country from the leadership that they have.
to build up troops in the region, with Trump
America does everything for their own benefit.
repeatedly threatening Iran. On Thursday, February
But my thing
26th,
is, I know I just paused 3 times in a row, but I thought we were not supposed to be getting into wars. I thought we were going to be becoming isolationists and we're going to focus on ourselves. We're going to focus on, why are we so focused on all of these countries and not what's going on in our own home, bro? Affordability is horrible. Healthcare is horrible. Our generation, we're not going to own a home. Trump tried to offer a 50-year mortgage. That's literally, you're just never going to own a home, bro. You're never going to own a home. At least with a 30-year mortgage, there comes a point where it flips and then you begin to start earning equity. On a 50-year mortgage, you're literally a glorified renter. You will never get any equity, bro. What are we talking about?
there was a last-ditch diplomatic effort between
By
the two
technicality, he didn't lie? What do you mean?
countries in Geneva.
That's basically
no
like a
avail.
new war. New conflict.
Saturday, February 28, around 9:40.
Israel, yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, I heard the big Yahoo put a boss call in on Trump and he said, Donald Trump, yes, big Yahoo, we have a video of you fucking a little girl on the Epstein files, and we're gonna release it to the public if you don't go to war with Iran. And then he just did it. That's my opinion from what I heard on the internet.
40 a.m. in Tehran, Iran's capital. This government compound is not far from Hur Square. It reportedly houses offices of the Iranian presidency, Iran's National Security Council, and the supreme leader.
Why are they all in one box though? That's a horrible idea. Y'all see? They asking to die. Y'all should never be this close. One bomb, all they gotta do is fly over y'all, just start dropping bombs, and you're all dead. Y'all should have been spread out and then had places where y'all met.
Since 2025, the US has apparently gained specific insights how Ayatollah Khamenei and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps communicate and move while under pressure. Reportedly, the CIA has tracked Khamenei for months.
Wow.
They've mapped his whereabouts
Yo,
and studied
bro,
his
I'm not gonna lie, they picking people up and getting them up out of there. Maduro, gone. What's his name? Gamini, bro, gone. They got him up out of there, bro. People are saying we're gonna go into World War III. The only way we go into a World War III is if the two other superpowers come at us, which isn't going to happen. Obviously, there's a lot of resources and shit in Iran, and they got deals with China, BRICS, right? But they don't give a fuck about Iran. They're not going to put themselves in a compromising situation because they would have already retaliated by now.
patterns. They're confident he's here today, and they learned of a meeting of top Iranian officials on site. The US and Israel originally...
If you think about it, America has already pretty much dominated the geopolitical scene because what we say goes. There's nothing that anybody can do that we will not have a say in. Everybody's playing by our rules. We're not even going to go into a World War III. It just doesn't make sense. Like, if you think about it, we're already moving the goalpost by something like this. We're kind of inching closer to Russia and China and all these other places, bro. Because if they would have really been on some shit, they would have already picked up Ukraine and they would have already picked up Taiwan, but that's not the case, right?
Intended to strike at night under the cover of darkness.
And I may be talking out my ass, but that's just the way I see it.
But they reportedly moved their time of attack. This opportunity was too good to miss.
Damn, perfect
Suddenly,
opportunity.
Israeli missiles hit their buildings.
Sheesh.
During impact, several national security officials are in one of
You're
them.
so correct, yes,
Supreme
sir.
Leader Khamenei reportedly in another. Afterwards, satellite imagery shows heavy damage to the buildings.
Damn.
Black smoke is rising. Geo-confirmed footage recorded here also shows massive amounts of smoke in the
What?
area of the compound.
They got the exact location of the phone angle. Oh my God.
A picture taken here, too. Ali Hosseini Khamenei died in the attack. Also
Yeah.
killed Suyid Abdurrahim Mousavi, Chief of Staff of Iran's Armed Forces. Ali
Outta there.
Shamkhani, head of the National Defense
Bro, they trying to get a UAV in this bitch.
Council. Muhammad Pakpour, Commander-in-Chief of the IRGC.
Outta there.
Aziz Nazir-Zadeh, Defense Minister.
Out of there.
According to Israeli news, a total of 30 senior Iranian officials were killed in just half a minute in the
What?
opening strike.
Half a minute? So they dead. Oh my God.
The operation was dubbed Roaring Lion in Israel and Epic Fury in the US. It has been planned for months. Masoud Pezeshkian, president of Iran, however, survived. Ali Larijani, secretary of the Supreme National Security Council, vowed Iran would fight back and assured continuity of governance.
Crazy.
The strike on the government compound was just one part of the operation. Afterwards, Israel reportedly take out Iran's air defenses, especially around Tehran. In a third wave, Israel deploys roughly 200 fighter jets, bringing much of its air force into Iran. The goal is reportedly to destroy as many Iranian missiles as possible, as fast as possible. The US reportedly joins in about 30 minutes after the attack on Iran's leadership.
They hitting them from all angles, bro. Yeah, we watching the war shit right now, bro.
According to the New York Times, their
good,
attacks
bro?
focus primarily on targets in eastern Iran, far away.
Yeah, isn't Kaysan like Iranian? He was like happy that the regime was taken down, bro. Because that shit, I heard it was like so corrupt. Like I heard they killed, like if you don't have like a headscarf on as a woman, they kill you or some shit like that. That's crazy.
From Israel. They also attacked the
Bro, Hassan is mad because Iran funds a lot of those terrorist groups. And so, he glazes terrorists and shit. So he's mad about that. His family got out there. Oh, wait, they got out of Iran? That's good.
Iranian fleet. Reportedly, US warships fired Tomahawk cruise missiles at Iranian targets. American ground forces use artillery rocket systems. Several military and command centers in Tehran are hit by Israeli airstrikes. Further explosions are reported in Iranian cities across the country. Trump releases a video officially announcing the military operation and urges the Iranian people to take over their government.
When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take.
When we're finished? Damn. So we about to just run up in there and just boom, 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 boom and get out of there.
Netanyahu later does the same.
נבטיח את נצח ישראל.
Shortly after their announcement,
And just something about him that gives me a bad vibe, bro. Does this look like somebody that gives you like good leader vibes? He just looks evil. Like he looks like he's up to some shit, bro. Do you think the US could attack China, Russia, or North Korea in the same way? No, because those are actually big players. I'm not gonna lie. Iran, dude, you can bully these motherfuckers easy. The moment that you go for like North Korea, they have nukes. They actually have like weapons of mass destruction. Same thing with China, same thing with Russia. Russia has resources. China has exports. So a lot of the shit that we get comes from China. They're just gonna stop fucking with us, bro. The thing that America controls is finance. Literally, bro. What about Gaza? I remember seeing in my local book about a newspaper saying there's 2 years of it. Yeah, that shit is still ongoing, bro. Free Palestine, you feel me? He looks like the COD Infinite Warfare campaign villain. That's what I'm saying.
After their announcement, an airstrike hits the Saraye Tayyibi Elementary Girls School in Minab, Hormozgan province. Iranian
seen
state
this.
media and officials claim that at least 175 people got killed, most of them likely children.
Damn.
These numbers have not yet been confirmed independently. According to the New York Times, the school is adjacent to an Iranian naval base. US Central Command announced an investigation into the strike. Iran launches Operation True Promise 4 and the retaliatory strikes begin.
Crazy.
Countless missiles are fired at dozens of sites across the Middle East.
Bro, they're like attacking other countries. And it's like, yeah, these countries would have probably been on your side. But now that you attack them, that's it. It's over with.
More than 200 missiles are launched at Israel alone.
Damn,
In solidarity with Iran,
200?
the Houthis in Yemen announced that they will resume attacking shipping lanes in the
Iranian-backed Houthis say they'll resume attacks on Israel and on shipping
Red
routes.
Sea. This effectively ends a 3.5-month pause following the 2025 Gaza ceasefire. The US-led coalition reportedly intercepts several drones and missiles heading towards Erbil in the Kurdistan region of Iraq with no casualties.
So wait, they're attacking Iraq? That's crazy. Y'all, y'all in for it now. I can't lie, man. Iraq, they don't play, bro. Yo, what's good, Zay? Why you think they call Chicago Chirac?
Multiple news
don't
outlets
play.
later report explosions near Erbil International Airport where US soldiers are stationed.
Man.
That afternoon, Dubai International Airport is hit with an Iranian drone,
Oh my
striking
God,
Terminal
Dubai,
3 and
bro.
effectively closing UAE airspace.
Sheesh.
Several luxury hotels like the Burj Al Arab and Fairmont
Yeah, they probably got an IG model, bro. They tried to take out a Saudi prince that was shitting on an IG model,
the
gang.
Palm are set on fire. It's unclear whether this was the result of a direct attack or if the fires were caused by debris from intercepted missiles. But the UAE isn't the only country
How are they able to do this while they're being attacked?
targeted by Iran. In Bahrain, missile and drone attacks hit the US
Wait,
Navy,
where?
only country targeted by Iran. But the UAE isn't the only country targeted by Iran. In Bahrain, missile and drone attacks hit the US Navy 5th Fleet headquarters. Footage shows what appears to be an Iranian Shahed drone striking a tower block roughly 20 minutes from the facility. In Qatar, the Ministry of Interior reports 66 ballistic missiles were fired at the country.
Wait, so they shot at all these countries? They shot at Iraq, Kuwait, Jordan, Saudi Arabia? Dude, they're about to go out sad. I'm not gonna lie. All these countries are just gonna join in and jump the shit out of Iran.
Debris reportedly injured at least 8 people.
What?
In Saudi Arabia,
Imagine these people got nothing to do with this shit and they got roped into it.
Prince Sultan Air Base is targeted by ballistic missiles, which are reportedly successfully intercepted. In Jordan, the military reports that it has intercepted and downed 49 drones and ballistic missiles, likely headed for the major US military bases across the country. In Kuwait, Iranian drones strike 2 passenger terminals of the Kuwait International Airport. In Syria, debris from an Iranian missile kills at least 4 civilians while injuring several others. Both Qatar and Saudi Arabia announced that they reserve the right to respond. The Arab League condemns Iran's attacks. Following the blanket strikes by Iran, NATO senior command said its missile defense systems in Europe and its early warning radar in Turkey are on alert. Some experts warn that Iran may activate sleeper cells in Europe and North America.
Yeah.
There are many more events and details
They about to start activating sleeper cells?
we can't cover in this video, as attacks continue back and forth.
What are they
So,
gonna wait? What are
let's
they gonna do? Okay, you activate a sleeper cell. Can somebody tell me what that means?
Zoom out a bit. The US's involvement in the attacks is controversial. On Truth Social, Trump said this:
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime.
How are
Its
they a threat though? Agency of moles from Iran, I'm assuming. But what are they gonna do?
menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world.
It's an argument for a war of necessity. An attack was looming across the sea, so the US had to strike preemptively. But it's unclear how Iran's activities directly endangered the United States.
There was a guy that shot up the spot. Mass shootings and bombings. Would they even be able to do that? I remember seeing this video where it said the owner of Ben & Jerry's was running in the Supreme Court saying he'll stop the war. Yeah, they can't be saying shit like that, bro. Really?
Iran was
Yeah,
apparently
he definitely was probably like a sleeper agent, bro.
years away from obtaining a nuclear weapon, according to the US's own intelligence. The country's ballistic missile arsenal is estimated to reach no more than 3,000 kilometers, a threat to neighboring countries, but not to the US.
Wait, what? Run that back. What?
The country's ballistic missile arsenal is estimated to reach no more than 3,000 kilometers.
Damn, so they could go in India, they could even go into Russia and all these countries. They're going into Europe, Africa. Dude.
A threat to neighboring countries, but not to the US. Iran might have been attacked because it was in a uniquely weak position, as a type of preventive measure. This might make this a war of choice, not one of necessity.
These preventive wars are often condemned internationally, not only because they're optional, because if every nation went out to strike adversaries who they thought were temporarily weak, we would live in a world of constant war.
According to international law, a war of choice would be illegal. There are also discussions whether the attack was in violation of the US Constitution. Trump started the
So we're saying, so hold on, so us taking that stand against them is considered a war of choice, and that's a violation of the Constitution and international law. I'm gonna be honest, like, what are we gonna do? What the, like, we bro, our own government basically came out and said that they're corrupt. What are we gonna do? Nothing. The US stays breaking international law. International law means nothing when you're one of the big dogs. If you're US, Russia, China, North Korea, that doesn't mean a damn thing. Yeah, bro, Trump been breaking laws, bro. He been breaking international law, bro. That shit don't mean nothing. If you can't enforce the law, that means it doesn't mean anything.
war without congressional approval. Across the US and parts of the world, protests erupted, partly against the Iranian regime, partly against American involvement in the war. Oil prices have risen sharply. Experts warn of an impending global energy crisis because of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. In Iran, people celebrate the death of Ayatollah Khamenei. Others are grieving. At this point, it remains unclear who will succeed him. For now, the regime formed a provisional government. It seems set on revenge and continues to strike Israeli and US bases.
What is a provisional government? What does that even mean? And how are those people alive?
The exact number of deaths is hard to determine at this point. According to the US military, so far 3 American soldiers have been killed, with 5 seriously injured.
Damn.
According to Al Jazeera, 10 people have been killed in Israel, 3 in the UAE,
Damn, that's tough.
1 in Bahrain, 1 in Kuwait, 13 in Lebanon, and 2 in Iraq. The Iranian Red Crescent has reported that since the attacks, at least 555 people have been killed, with hundreds injured.
And these are all innocent people, bro. Innocent people die behind war, bro.
According to the Times of Israel, these numbers do not differentiate between military and civilians.
Damn.
The situation is likely to escalate further in the upcoming days.
How?
Timely reporting like this is incredibly resource intensive. It's only possible thanks to today's sponsor.
Bruh. Yeah. Nah, that's insanity, bro. 24 hours and bro's already got a kill cam. He isn't even cold yet. Bro's so quick, he's going to start reporting on events before they even happen. I don't know what to expect, bro.